Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here, welcome, period. I'm Megan, and I am a makeup artist in San Diego, California. And today we're going to do a little class on eyebrows. So I'm coming to you today without eyebrows on. These are my natural brows, no makeup on them or anything. And you can see how it sort of makes my face look incomplete when my brows aren't done. Now this is a personal choice of mine. I could go really light on the brows, or I can go very dramatic on the brows from here. But this little class tutorial that I'm doing right now is to sort of introduce you to the concept of how to shape your eyebrows, what kind of products you can use to enhance your natural brows, and then I'll talk a little bit about possibly dyeing brows, which is what I personally do. I like to dye my eyebrows because I'm a redhead. My eyebrows are naturally very light, so I like to dye them. But first off, we are going to talk about how to shape your eyebrows and the different parts of the eyebrows. So here we have the front of the brow, and then going up right in here is called the arch, and then the tail is down this section. So you can see by pointing this out, you've got three main parts. It starts out thicker here and then starts to thin out that way. Now I've shaped mine to look like that by using tweezers to tweeze out the individual hairs. I prefer it going that way because I have control over how my brows look. So to begin with, I like for my brows to begin right where my nostrils start. I find that when I start my brows too far out, it makes my nose look wider. If I draw in brows a little bit closer together, my nose looks thinner. So there you have it. Also, drawing my eyebrows in a little bit closer together makes my eyes appear a little further apart because there's more, there's less of a gap there, more of a gap right there. So we have this front of the brow, and then if you tilt to the outside of the iris, looking forward, connecting to the nose, you have the arch. So there's your arch there. And then to the corner of the eye, under the nose, we have the tail of the brow. You can see how that looks. So that's my low point, high point, low point. And what I like to do is I like to sort of pluck right under here. Not too much though. I plucked too much during junior high, high school, college, lost a lot of real estate there as far as the hair goes. Not very proud of myself on that one. So the more brow you have, the more you can work with, which is great. And then I like to sort of clean up above, but not too much as well. So there we have natural brow shape. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or go to my Instagram, Megan Mateo, makeup artist, and DM me. It'll be fine. I've also got a Facebook channel. You can send me a message that way as well. So to start, the easiest way to make eyebrows look fuller without doing a whole lot extra to them is to use a tinted brow mascara. Now this one is from NYX. You can see it's the blonde shade, and it looks just like a little mascara wand. See? And you just brush it into your brows. I like to start like sort of going the opposite way and then brush it into place after that. Normally I get a color that matches my eyebrows. This one is in blonde, but for a while there I was blonde, so it made perfect sense. And they're not hard to find anymore. You can pick these up in Target, Walmart, Sephora, Ulta, anywhere you find makeup, you'll probably find a brow mascara. So they run the gamut of like cheapy cheap to super expensive and everywhere in between. So any price point you want, you can find something that you need. Any hair color that you have or want to match, you can find that as well. So take a look around, see what works for you, but simple to use. So next up, we have something a little more complex. This will allow you to draw on your eyebrows. So whereas with the brow mascara, you're basically just thickening your brow hair and maybe adding a little bit of a tint, you're not really changing your eyebrow that much. Now if you've got more unruly brows, a tinted brow mascara or just even a clear brow mascara can help you put those eyebrow hairs in place and lock them in there for until you wash off your eyebrow mascara. But next up we have a brow powder from e.l.f. and this one comes with a brow wax. So this side's the wax, this side is the powder. If you want to keep it super simple, you're going to just want to use the brow powder. So much like any sort of eyebrow shadow, like eyeshadow itself, it's basically the same thing. So you'll want to use an angled brush like this one, very stiff angled brush. This one's from Sonia Kashuk. Dip it in and then draw in your shape. I'm not actually drawing right now, I'm just sort of going through the motions. So you draw in your shape and then you can use that shadow to fill in. Now it's very forgiving. If your makeup is done, you're powdered, and you just draw on, you know, a little bit of brow, you're not going to get individual hairs with this. You're not going to get a lot of definition. You're not going to really change the shape of your brow all that much. You are going to fill in where you might have some sparseness, like I've got over here. I've got a scar, and then parts of the eyebrow that are sort of faded out, like the, you know, the tail end. I can make it a little more defined. But if I really want to go in and thicken it up, hold things in place, I can use the wax. So I would go in, before I go in with powder or anything else, I would go in with a wax, lay that down so you've got a sticky base, and then follow it up by going over that wax that I've just put in with the eyebrow shadow. So that's how that works. This one does come with its own little, you know, brush. It's totally useless, just throw it away. And get you something like this. Angled, flat angled liner brush. Easy to find if you're looking at a place like, you know, Ulta, Target, Walmart. They'll have this. And again, this one is Sonia Kashuk. I got it at Target. It's been beautiful. I will be using it, well, actually basically use it almost on a daily basis. So I like that. Next up, a little more advanced, we have a brow pencil. So this one's from Maybelline. It's retractable, so you just sort of roll it up, roll it back down. This is again by Maybelline. It's called the Define and Fill Duo. And you're asking, what is the duo part? Well, it's because this end is your pencil, this end, the little cap unscrews and it's shadow. So you get the best of both worlds here. With the pencil, you can outline again. You can draw in individual hairs. So if you've got a real bald patch like I do here, you can draw in what hairs may have been missing. So not only can you go in and just sort of map out your shape, you can actually make it look like you have more brow hairs than you do. And then after you're done with that, you go in and you shadow with the brow shadow. So it's a nice little invention. You know, Walmart, Target, Ulta, you can find these. I do love it. This one's in the shade Blonde. It's a very, very light ashy brown color, so it plays well with lighter skin tones and anywhere from blonde to light brown hair. Next up, we have something that's even more advanced, brow pomade. This type of product really started to gain legs when Anastasia Beverly Hills put out a brow pomade years ago. Well, I mean, it's not like that long ago, but several years ago. And it comes in a little pot like this. It's a creamy substance, so it's kind of creamy, waxy, and you take it out of the pot with, again, our favorite angled liner brush. Oh yeah. And with this one, you just sort of, a little bit goes a long way. Brow pomade allows you to do all the same things a pencil will allow you to do, except fill as well. So you won't need to go back with a powder to fill. So you can just dip in a couple of times, map out that shape, you can draw your individual hairs, you can fill in. The learning curve is there though, and it's pretty steep. So I wouldn't say, hey, I've got prom tonight, I've got a wedding to go to, I've got this and that to do, I'm going to try brow pomade for the very first time. Don't do that, because the likelihood that you will mess up is very real and very much there, and I don't want you to have to go through that. So sit at home, practice. This one is from Arches and Halos. It's their blonde shade. Not really blonde. I will say that much. This is an ash brown color, straight up, not blonde. It is fairly deep shade for a blonde to wear. If you like blonde hair with dark eyebrows, go for it, because yeah, perfect for that look. But if you've got blonde hair and you want blonde eyebrows, that's not the right product for you. The shade is off. Finally, what I love to use probably the most recently is an eyebrow pen. It's just a pen, looks like a felt tip marker, which is essentially what it is. This one is in a blonde shade by PMELtete, which is, I believe, either a Japanese or Korean brand. I got this at my local Japanese shop, Mitsuwa. Go Mitsuwa, love them. And at the other end, we have a brow mascara, which is super useful. And this does not erase. So this is what I call the most complex as far as our tools that we've used so far. With the pomade, you can actually go in while it's still wet and use like a little baby wipe or a makeup wipe and sort of erase what you've messed up on, and then go back and try again. This is not that forgiving. This, once it goes on, you've got less than a second before it dries and locks in, and it's just there for the rest of the day, whether you like it or not. So it functions a lot like our pencil in that you can draw, map things out, draw eyebrow hairs, you can fill in some, but it's kind of testy. You really do need to know what you're doing. You're going to have to practice, and I'm going to show you how to do it with this one on this eye, and then I'll go through and show you how I do eyebrows with a pomade on my other eye. So I'm going to demonstrate now. So if you've gotten this far, we're going to do a little experimenting and go in with this. So first, I like to begin just by drawing in some brow hairs, get myself warmed up. Some people like to start in the center, some people start at their forward brow, some people like to start closer to their tail. I find that wherever you're most comfortable is where you should start. Yeah. Don't let me tell you where to start, because even I don't start in the same place every day. So we've got there. Now you can see my arch goes up, tail goes down. It's filled in pretty well. It was super fast, but if I made one false move, I'd be in the bathroom washing my face, crying, having to start all over again. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to go in now. It's dried down completely at this point, and I'm going to use the brow mascara to sort of show you how it works. So this, now that I've gone through, locks everything in. I do like to take the front of my brow and kind of brush it upwards a little, and it gives like that a little bit of a brow lamination kind of a look, which is a hot topic at the moment, brow laminating. But you've got a finished brow, and you can see the difference between the two. So finished brow, sparse brow, finished brow, sparse brow. I like how the finished brow looks personally. Other people might find that this is more attractive on them, and that is okay. So next up, brow pomade. Whoo! This is going to be a little bit darker, so you're going to find that I might end up looking kind of laughable at this point. I'm going to try and balance my mirror in a way that you can still see. Try and turn for you. Now taking in just a little bit and starting with my arch at this point, going so gently and soft. Moving around, and then down we go. So you can see how I'm filling in using the brush up and down. So this part of the brush, just the flat, thin side, making those little brow hairs, and then drawing and filling in as I go. So now we have that side pretty much finished. So there we are. We are basically at the end of our eyebrow journey. I hope it's been fun, exciting, or at the very least educational and entertaining. So if you have any questions, please drop me a line. If you can't or don't for some reason want to leave a comment below, then feel free to contact me on any of my other platforms and leave me a message, and I'll get back with you. As far as the videos go, I like to do videos once a week if I can. Lately I've been kind of sick, so haha, yay. I did feel better this week, hopefully still feel good next week. I'm going to be starting in next week with a really pretty soft Valentine's Day look, so stay tuned for that. And if you liked what I did this week, give me a like or a comment. Both would be great. And if you really enjoy what I do, subscribe. That'll make me super happy. And until I talk to you again, stay safe. Bye.